Uh, Thank you so much for joining. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure, Aminder. Okay, so my name is Ritik Nirwan and I've been working with for last 3 years. Okay, and in this duration, I have got hands-on experience on ServiceNow as a ServiceNow developer, specializing in ITSM, that is the IT Service Management, Service Catalog, integrations, and virtual agent, and all these topics. So basically, I started with working on the ITSM modules like incident management, change management, problem management, these kind of modules. And after that, I worked on different ServiceNow capabilities like working on client scripts and UI policies to increase the user experience. Again, then working on the server side scripts in order to drive few automations, customizations, all those things. After that, I also got a chance to work on integration, service and now to service now bonding, also service now to third party tools integration. And also I have worked on virtual agent where I have defined few topics, virtual agent topics, and also used advanced work assignment within it to drive the automation as of by the VA. So during this time, like I have got an exposure on the complete software development lifecycle, like from end to end, from requirement gathering to the service delivery, like the deployment. So yeah, that is all about me.
Okay, great. Can you tell me, let's start from the basics. Can you tell me what is dictionary override and when you would apply it?
Okay, so basically a dictionary override is nothing but modifying a behavior of a particular field on the extended table. So for an example, if you talk about a field on the task table, that is an assignment group, okay, that is extended to different tables like incident table, problem table, and also the change table. So if you talk about a scenario, let's say on the incident table, we only want the assignment group selectable which are having types as incident. Okay, so what we will do, we'll not write like we'll qualifier on the task tables assignment group field, but we'll write a dictionary override for the incident table, okay, which will have a reference qualifier like type is incident. So that behavior will then be copied onto the incident form, like incident assignment group field.
Okay, great. What is domain separation in ServiceNow?
Yeah, domain separation is nothing but a logical separation of data within different groups within ServiceNow. So for example, let's say if a single enterprise is working on different areas, let's say they have two businesses, okay, and they don't want to go for two different ServiceNow systems. So in that case, they could use domain separation. In the domain separation, they will have a separated data which will not be get one data domain cannot interact with the another data domain, and that's how like they will have separate processes along with them using the same data, and then like which will be interdependent, like non-dependent to each other. So that is the domain separation in ServiceNow.
Okay, so how do you define customizations in ServiceNow? What is customization and what is the impact of customization in ServiceNow?
Okay, so customization is nothing but modifying a behavior, modifying certain behavior using scripts or certain tools. So customization is nothing but adding new functionality to what the baseline provides. Okay, so for an example, getting a field on a form from the form layout is nothing but a configuration. So we are just getting it. And if you talk about the customization, if let's say there's a date variable, date field, sorry, and on
Mhm.
submit, the scenario is like on submit, it should validate the date should be only selected an year ago, like within an year. Okay, so in that case, we can write certain validation. Let's say clientship for a second. That will be a customization on top of the baseline.
So ServiceNow recommend customization?
ServiceNow does not recommend customization directly. ServiceNow asks the users to be stick to the baseline capabilities as possible. Like if something is getting configurable by the out of the box things, then it is expected, it is recommended. Okay, otherwise if you want any custom requirement, okay, you cannot go without that particular logic using the out of the box things, then you will have to go for the customization to satisfy the business needs.
Okay, so what are the repercussions of customization?
Okay,
Uh,
customization, the
Most
main
like many customization, let's
yeah.
say.
So the main repercussion of the customization is like we are adding the extended load on the baseline. So we are creating something extra in service now, right? So that is like it will result in performance issues. Let's say we have customized some business rules which are having long operations. So while form loading, let's say there's a business rule on the incident table and which is a business rule, okay, and it is taking so much time. So it may result in what to say, like if deficiencies in the UI or some performance level issues like that.
Okay, how customizations impact upgrade?
Yeah, customizations heavily impact upgrade. If we talk about an example, like let's say there are certain heavy customizations done on in the change area, okay, and the customization is done to the baseline behavior of service. Now, let's say there are certain business rules which are provided out of the box from the service now, but to satisfy the business needs, developers have customized those business rules. So during the upgrade, what will happen? Upgrade will not upgrade those business rules or those components with the OOB things. It will just skip the upgrade. Okay, and what will happen after the upgrade? A post, the skip record will get created for those upgrades. So the developers or the service provider will have to sit and will have to review all those things. Like either they want to go with those customization that they had done in the past, or they want it to be overridden by the out of the box capabilities of ServiceNow.
Okay, okay. Describe the role of CMDB in ITSM.
Okay, CMDB is one of the main component of ITSM. CMDB stands for Configuration Management Database. So it is nothing but a repository containing tangible or intangible data, which is managed by a particular organization for carrying out their day-to-day services. So basically, if you talk about tangible data like hardware, computers, okay, intangible we could say servers, databases, okay. So the main role of the CMDB in ITSM is it keeps this data in ServiceNow, and using this data, this could be used in different ITSM practices like incident management, change management, and problem management to track down the issues which are arise, and so to limitate the impact and fix the issues, perform RCAs.
Okay. Okay, so now let's move to ITSM things. Okay.
Okay,
In incident management, what is the business reason to link an incident to a change request?
what is the sorry?
In incident management,
Okay.
what do you think is the business reason behind linking incident to a change request?
Okay. So if we found out there is a pattern of incidents like which is arising from the same issue, so after the investigation is done on a particular incident, it is identified that because of a certain thing, that thing was broken. Okay, that particular functionality was broken and it has caused into the disruption. And in order to fix that, in order to bring those services back into operation, we need to perform certain kind of modification or customization within the ServiceNow instance. In that case, that is something that is should be looked by the developers. They need to make the actual change, actual modification in the ServiceNow instance. In this case, a change comes into the picture. So on top of the change, there will be a change created, and on top of it, the other activities will be performed like getting it approved, then actual development, actual configuration, moving it to the like implementing it to the ServiceNow production instance. And this is how I see the change aligning with the incident. Okay.
Yeah, it could be governance, right? It's a kind of governance here.
Yes, governance also. Yes,
So
correct.
that could be a better, word,
Yes.
governance.
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about governance, in ServiceNow catalog management, how do you ensure governance without slowing the delivery?
Sorry, could you please repeat that?
Yeah, in ServiceNow catalog, let's say in
Okay.
service catalog, how do you ensure
Okay.
governance is properly managed?
Okay. Okay. So I think what governance means here in this context of the service catalogs is managing the delivery items, which are the catalog items or record producers, in a way that they should be parallel with the exact services that has been given by the enterprise to
Okay.
its users. Okay, so the proper management of these things, I think it should come under the governance, but I'm not able to come up with the exact answer here,
Okay.
Obi.
So in this case, maybe the workflow which you have designed is based on the proper policies, the
Yes.
approvals, proper approval should be there. So all these part, is comes under governance. Means whatever we are doing is being based on proper policies of the company, of the organization. So that
Yeah.
should be involved here. Okay, no problem. Let's move a bit forward. Okay, what are the main HTTP methods used in REST integration?
Okay, there are primarily 4 to 5 HTTP methods used in REST integration or REST protocols like post, put, patch, get, and delete. So these are the 5 methods which are used in
Okay,
HTTP.
can you explain the difference between patch and put?
Yes, so both of are kind of similar in a sense, but the main difference between a put and a patch is put just replaces the entire resource within the web service that we are calling to. Okay, and what patch updates a subset of that data. It does not replace the data. So and also see also it is seen like put at times if the resource is not found, let's say the resource is deleted at the web service, it also
Mhm.
tend to create the that resource with the put request itself, but patch does not do it. So I think these are the two main differences.
Okay, great. Can you tell me the difference between scripted REST API versus an out-of-box REST message?
Okay, sure. So the basic difference here is how the service now is communicating. So is it an inbound call or is it an outbound call? So outbound is nothing but creating resources or calling creating data in the outer system, third party system. So if we are creating something from our main system like ServiceNow instance to another instance, that is an outbound. So in that case, what we use is a REST message. Okay, and in the reverse scenario, if something is getting created from the third party system into the ServiceNow system, like our parent system, then we'll have to use scripted REST API. The main purpose is of the scripted REST, sorry, the first thing is a REST message. The main purpose is to define the connection, have the connection established, and send the proper data content type, like define what data we are sending, what data we are going to receive, these kind of
Mhm.
things to talk with the third party system. And the about the scripted REST API, it defines how we are going to handle the incoming requests from the third party systems, and we can just modify things in scripted REST API, like how we are going to handle what we are going to create from the incoming request, what we are going to authorize and what we are going to restrict, like those things.
Okay, great. Suppose you are performing an integration and you got a failed outbound REST integration. Okay,
Yeah.
so how would you debug that in production?
Okay, so very first thing that I would go and look is the outbound HTTP logs. Okay, I'll try to
Where
find that particular in the outbound REST message, outbound REST logs,
uh, are these
outbound
logs?
HTTP requests, something like that.
Okay, is it in ServiceNow or somewhere else?
It is in service now.
Okay, great. Yeah, please
Okay.
continue.
Okay, so that will be the first place where I'll go and try to find out that interaction, that transaction. Okay, and I'll try to see what was the HTTP code written. Okay, so let's say if it 200.201, then that means the connection was successful. Okay, after this is the first scenario. Let's say the connection was successful. Okay, then
Mhm.
after I'll try to find what went wrong. Like I'll try to analyze the response. If we have got any response from the third party system, okay, we'll analyze that response, and if you find any deficiencies, okay, let's say in the payload we missed few things. Okay, so that's how we'll troubleshoot in case where there's the successful 201.20 or 200 connection. In case like there could be a 401 also where the connection was disrupted, so maybe there was some change in the password or username, so that has resulted into 401. So we'll have to update the credentials properly. Okay, and the last thing I could say is there could be a 500 error. So that means the connection was successful, but something happened, some error happened at the third party system. So in that case, I would have to go to the third party vendor developers. I'll have to seek their help in what went wrong handling our call to their instance or to their system.
Okay, very nice. Okay, one more question related to integrations.
Okay.
Suppose you are working for banking vertical. Okay,
Okay.
so in this case, you have to, uh, you have to transfer some kind of sensitive data. So please describe how you would secure sensitive data during a REST call in ServiceNow.
So is it an one question? Is it an outbound thing, or we are getting some sensitive data from the, you
No,
know,
no, you have to share it with third party.
okay, okay. So we from service now we have to share it with some banking
Yes,
facility.
yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
okay. So the first thing that is coming into my mind is to initialize this transaction from a secure way, from a, let's say, I'm thinking around the areas of like using a mid server to initialize this call.
Okay.
Okay, so with mid servers, like what will happen? So there will be a secure call. So let's say the mid server is established within the network of the banking facility, okay, local network, and we'll use that as a tool to communicate to send the data. And like wherever in the transit of this transaction, so first the service now will reach out to that mid server. It will establish the connection. If the mid server permits, then only the data will be fetched into the entered into the third party system, that is a banking system what we are talking about here. And similar way, if there is a bidirectional communication, let's say we are getting some data from their side also, so it will be the same, like from third party banking system through the mid server, it will be received to ServiceNow. So I think that will be the most secure way.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's move to some HRST questions. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, Tell me, what is an HR skill and what is the most important use of HR skill?
Okay, so HR skill, nothing but it defines the qualification of the HR fulfillers. Okay, so let's take an example. In case let's say there is a HR tier one group. Okay, and that group is having 20-30 people. Okay, and there could be HR cases or requests coming through for multiple HR deliveries. Like it could be a payroll issue, it could be a benefits question. Okay, like those. It could be a question regarding tax or leave of absence. In that case, skills helps ServiceNow to identify which particular fulfiller is able to handle that case successfully. So let's say five of those people are having the payroll skill. We'll assign payroll skill to them. Other five will have leave of absence skill. Otherwise, five will have some other skill. Okay. So what ServiceNow does, using the different ServiceNow capabilities, we could enable the assignment of the incoming HR cases or HR request to those particular members directly. So let's say there is a payroll case coming into the picture. It gets assigned to HR tier one. It will ServiceNow will make sure like it should get assigned to only those five members who are having the payroll skill.
Okay, great. Okay, can you tell me the difference between HR criteria and user criteria?
Yes. So user criteria is more of a platform-based criteria, which is used to dictate what resources users can access. Okay, HR criteria is the same, but it is within the scoped application of the HRSD. It is not global to the complete platform as of in the user criteria. Okay, and it is used, HR criteria is mostly used in defining audiences for HR knowledge bases or HR record process like those.
Okay, great. You worked on virtual agent as well, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So suppose I want to restrict virtual agent topics so that only HR users can access them. Is it possible?
Yes, it is possible. So to identify an HR, to identify a particular user is an HR employee, we look at the HR profiles. So we could have a condition in place. So every topic has a few blocks there. So I think in the properties blocks, we could define who can access it. So if we can also go with the role, if it is a particular person is initiating the transaction, like if someone is going into the ESC, if he's having the SN profile, like HR profile in place, then that topic should be restricted. So either we could hard code it using the script into the VA properties, okay, or otherwise we could also use the criteria. So there will be scripting methods which will call up, which will check if the particular user is satisfying a particular HR criteria or not. So there are these two ways, I believe.
Okay. Uh, when would you use set workflow false in script and why?
Okay, set workflow false. We will use set workflow false in the cases where we are using the current dot update method. So if we don't want to, let's say, first thing, the use of current dot update is prohibited. Like it's prohibited in the sense it is not recommended by ServiceNow at all because it causes recursive updates if not handled correctly. So that's the first thing. So in order to stop these recursive updates, what I mean, the subsequent executions of the business rules or flow or workflow processes, okay, triggered by that update. So if you want to stop that, so before actually writing the current dot update, we'll do set workflow false, okay, and that will just make sure the subsequent rules will not trigger, and after that we could use the current dot update. And one important thing that people tend to miss is, as we have changed the state to false workflow state, after the current dot update, we need to make sure like we should use set workflow to true, because we need to set the original state in this transaction.
Okay, so you are saying once I have used set workflow false,
Yes.
then when I should use set workflow true? It's a single thing which is used, like it's session based or what?
It's a session based. So in that particular execution context we are talking about, so like there may not be a repercussion directly, but let's say if there is a subsequent code after the current dot update,
Mhm.
I will talk in an example sense. So if we have performed the set workflow false, then we did current dot update, and we, let's say there is a subsequent code also which is doing certain calculations, other calculations, the other things. Okay, so this state might affect, like if we didn't even want in first place to have the set workflow false to be executed for the latter code, latter part of the logic. But unknowingly, we could have the state to false in the other execution. So if you don't want that, it's better to have the set workflow true in place.
Okay.
So it avoids the impact on the latter logic that we have developed.
Okay. Uh, okay. Can you explain the role of mid server in integration and give me one case scenario for that?
Okay, sure. The very first thing that is coming into my mind with for this question is the using the mid server in the discovery in the IT operation management. So
Okay.
basically, what discovery does is tends to get the CI data, configuration items data from the local network. Okay, the data within the local network of an organization which is behind the firewall, and it gets that data into the ServiceNow and it populates it into the ServiceNow CMDB. Okay, so that is the main purpose of the discovery. So this is a very secure data. This is a very confidential data that we are talking about. It could be having server data, databases, or hardware, software, certain operating systems, right, in the local network of the organization. So this is a very confidential data that should be handled very securely. So in that case, we could use a mid server. So what will happen, as I said earlier also, the transactions will happen through the mid server. So if ServiceNow is talking to the local network, so the mid server will come into the picture. It will authorize, authenticate. Okay, and if the all the permissions are passed, then only it will have the allow the that transaction, and it goes both ways.
Can we call mid server as a discovery agent?
Yes, sorry, I'm not sure about the term. Okay,
Okay,
like
so you
discovery
heard
agent.
about agentless discovery and something like that, right? You heard? What is
Uh,
agentless discovery or what? Is service not discovery agentless discovery or what? Is it agent discovery?
no, I'm not sure about it. Okay.
Okay, okay, no problem. Okay, this is it for this mock interview. I'm done
Okay.
with the questions. Anything you have? Any questions?
Yes. Could you give me a feedback of how it went?
Okay,
Okay.
sure, sure. First of all, let's start with communication. You have good communication, and the way you are responding is very good. I think you are not adding much more details which are unnecessary. You are giving direct answers and what all the questions which I have asked. Okay, so you have provided a good response and concise. So just keep it with same zeal. Okay. Along with that, in your resume. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay. So add some more thing. Okay. What you have worked, like your project, something is because you have only mentioned ServiceNow developer and not mention of the project, what project you are working on. So add few projects as well which you have worked on there these 3 years. Do not add much detail, but give some impression that you have worked on integration projects, you have worked on this project, and in that integration project what you actually did. So it's good to have these things and along with what you have mentioned right now.
Okay. By project, like, do we adding a name of the project, or sorry, I didn't follow that. Okay.
Name, if you are okay, name, or maybe which vertical, like
Hmm.
worked on domain like banking vertical or something like that, so that people
Okay.
came to know that you are in you have experience in this particular domain, right? There are various
Oh, yeah.
vertical. insurance, banking, and energy. So
Yes.
whatever your client is, so give some. Do not, if you're not okay, then avoid the name, but working with the banking team or something like that, banking client, so that people get more idea. Okay, yes, you are working with the banking client, so you should be more aware about security and all, so that people get good idea about that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yes. Okay. Rest all is good. Try to add more modules in your resume.
Yeah.
Your integration knowledge is very good, and I have asked few scenario-based questions as well, and you have provided a good response to that. Okay. So
Yeah.
just to make sure to add those things in your resume, and prepare good examples for whatever you have in your resume.
Yeah.
Real-time examples directly from your project. Okay,
Sure.
so that
Yeah.
whenever somebody asks, you will give crystal clear response for that. This is very important because any interviewer have only two things in front of them, your CV and their JD, right? So
Yes,
they will
correct.
ask most of the question from that also, that only. Okay,
Okay, sure. Yeah.
yeah, rest all thing is fine, and I wish you all the best for coming interviews.